What's up, guys? Welcome back to, well, this is a squeaky chair, Rick. It'd be all right. Welcome back to another edition of Motivational Monday. Today, I got permission from one of our guys, Brian, to kind of share a little bit of his story, and then I want to tie it into a scripture in the Bible, or a little parable, rather. And I love Brian Kreidler, man. Like, one of my favorite people in the world. We are lucky to get to share life together every day. We're lucky that Brian comes to this place that we call 10 Soldier Racecars every day. I met Brian a few years ago in a really kind of funny circumstance, but he was welding a roll cage in a car, and he was totally unequipped to do that. He kind of got thrown into this job to do this deal, and because Brian's like the nicest dude ever, he's like, I'll figure it out. Well, he was way over his head at the time, and if you've never met Brian, Rick, how tall do you think Brian is? 6'5", 6'6"? Yeah, he is tall, man, big dude. And honestly, like, he really probably shouldn't be welding on race cars because he doesn't physically even fit in there. So he's in this car trying to weld it out, and we kind of got called in to help him a little bit. It was when we were first starting. We were real small. So Brad and I went over and kind of helped bail Brian out to a degree. And that was my first encounter really with Brian. Brian had just graduated welding school, and man, he was pretty vocal over the next 5-6 years that his end goal was to work here. He wanted to work at 10 Soldier Racecars, and it wasn't like me and him talked all the time. I would just randomly see him. But people would tell me this. My good buddy Spanky that cuts hair, he would always tell me that anytime Brian come and get his hair cut, he wanted to work here. The really awesome thing about Brian was that Brian had like a life trajectory of what he was doing, but he decided that he wanted to become a welder. So he went back to school, really in his, Brian could tell me exactly, but I'd say it was mid-30s, kind of when he already had life kind of established. He went back to school to go weld. And really probably most people would consider that he went backwards for a little bit, going to school, doing this stuff. And then he just went to work, dude. He welded there. He welded at school, and he got some other jobs, and all these things happen. At least I'm not going to bore you with all of it. But a few years ago, I guess it's been about a year and a half ago now, we put out an ad looking for another welder, and Brian was one of the first resumes that we got. The thing that I loved about Brian is I'm pretty sure he had both Brad and I's cell phones. We're obviously friends on Facebook. He didn't send us a message on those avenues. He didn't call and be like, hey, you got to give me a job. He didn't do any of that. What he did do was follow the exact instructions on the post and send us his resume without any call, any of that. Just, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, which, asterisk, if you're looking to get a job at a place and they say just email a resume, don't send them screenshots of your welds. Don't do it. That may happen later, but follow the instructions, because that's actually the first test. But Brian did all that. We brought him in for an interview, and because on paper Brian looked awesome, he was very qualified for the job. He was so nervous. I remember like Brian coming in like kind of shaking a bit, and it was just cool to watch. He was so happy to be here, and he did awesome. Like he had some stuff that we kind of needed to work through, but Brian got that job because of his ability. Like, it wasn't because of that he knew Brad and I. It wasn't any of those things. Brian got his job because of the work that he had put in. And in life, like I said, we can't control where we start. So we can't control what parents we have. We can't control what economic class we're born into. We can't even control what geographical location on this earth that we land. You don't see babies picking up briefcases or whatever and walking somewhere else. They are, you're tied to wherever you're born. And we have zero control of that. But what we do have control over is that hustle in between the time that we're put on this earth and the time that we leave. And watching Brian decided that he wanted something different for his life. And he took his ability and he invested that ability into something else, and decided that he wanted to be a welder. And it's an absolute success story. Like, it's so cool to watch. He actually has a 10 soldier race car tattoo. We kind of joke about it every once in a while, but that's the kind of commitment that boy has. Like, it's just phenomenal to watch. But there's a little story in the Bible, and it's called the parable of the talents. And it's going to say the word talent, but you can just like compare it to bars of gold or something like that. And it's about, a servant, some masters and servants. So, back then, obviously this is just a long time ago. It's kind of a different way of life. And it kind of opens up about a guy leaving, and basically he's entrusting some stuff to people while he's gone. He's going to be gone for an extended amount of time. And this is what it says. Again, it will be like a man going on a journey who has called his servants and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents of money, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, all according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received the 5 talents went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 more. So also the one with the 2 talents gained 2 more. But the man who had received the 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. So I'm saying all that to say this. A lot of times in life, I think we feel like we weren't dealt a fair hand, and what we do have, we hold it really tight, right? Like nobody else is going to get this. This is mine. And we, for lack of a better, we bury our ability in the ground, and we're scared to show it to the world because we don't think that we're going to get anything in return. Well, the guy that only had the 1 bag, that dude could have hustled and got 10. It's possible, right? Like, and a lot of times we look, even me personally, like you'll look at someone else's life or whatever that may have had, more to start with, or however you want to look at it, like they had a better circumstance to begin with. Again, you can't control where you were born at in this life, but you can control where you end. And watching Brian's journey to where he could have ended in a lot of different things, and I'm not going to go into that, but Brian is such a testament to, he picked up his stuff and he decided to take his talent elsewhere, and he absolutely reaped what he sowed, right? Like he changed the direction of his life. So for you, if you're watching this, and life's really not going the way that you want, and you're feeling like, man, all these decisions I've made, my talent's dug and it's buried in the ground. Well, unbury that deal and start investing, right? Like, it doesn't have to be money investing, but it can be ability investing. Whatever you're interested in, take some chances and try something else. We love you. We hope you have a great Monday. See you later.